Now that we've set up and opened your project, let's start sequencing your speech in music for your revision track. To make editing your music easier, let's begin by setting the tempo to that of your music track and the timeline to display bars and beats. Go to the time display next to the transport controls, click on the clock and select project. Click the tempo and slide until you reach your desired tempo. I will set it to 90 BPM to match the time-lapse track that I am going to use. Next, click the metronome icon and select measures. This will set the timeline to bars and beats. It's good practice to keep saving your work, so save your project using the Apple and S keys. Before you import or edit your music track, you should be aware of the snap to grid function. Snap is the degree of accuracy with which you can move, or split, an item on the timeline. Navigate to the control menu and select Snap to Grid if it is not already selected. Tip: you can toggle Snap to Grid between on and off using Apple and G. By default, Snap will probably be set to 1 bar. You can confirm or change this by navigating to the top right-hand side of the timeline and clicking the ruler icon. The fractions displayed in the list are relative to 1 musical bar, where 1 measure is a bar, 1/2 is a half bar, 1/4 is a beat of a bar, 1/8 is half a beat, and so on. When Snap to Grid is on and set to 1 bar, switch to Finder and navigate to your revision project's audio folder. Then, select and drag your chosen music track to the jingles track, ensuring that it starts at the beginning of the bar. If it does not end up exactly where you want it, simply select the audio region and move into place. Now you can see the waveform of your music track. Next, listen through to the track to decide which part or parts you want to use. You can use as much or as little as you like. For example, you may want to identify different sections for different parts of your speech and cut the track up into separate parts so that you can arrange it according to your needs. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the entire track as is, and sequence my speech recordings around it. However, should you wish to edit the track, to ensure it doesn't appear to jump out of time, you should set the snap to a bar or beat. Click the ruler as we did before, and change accordingly. Please refer to the Editing Your Speech section for a demonstration of how to split, copy, paste and move audio regions. Now that you've imported your music track, we can begin importing and arranging your speech over it. As it is not necessarily important for the speech to start or end on a precise beat or bar, I will switch off Snap to Grid for the purpose of editing my speech. In the same way we did this a moment ago, press Apple and G, or go to the control menu and deselect Snap to Grid if it is already selected. This will also help when splitting your speech recordings, where the breaks between words and phrases are not inherently related to the tempo of your chosen music track. Let's go back to your audio folder and select your first section of speech. Drag your speech recording to your chosen track, either male or female, and move it to your desired location in the timeline. You can play around with this until it sounds right to you. Remember, there's no right or wrong place. This is a revision track, so you're the boss.